Hello and welcome to Meldon Law and Friends, a weekly podcast brought to you by Meldon Law, a statewide law firm with its primary office in Gainesville, Florida, and also with offices in South Florida, covering the entire Tri-County area, Miami-Dade through Broward County, all the way up through Palm Beach County. And as many of you know, for 43 years, we've also had an office in Marion County, Florida, in Ocala. And Jeffrey, I know you're very proud of the office we've just opened there, a brand new space, and it's coming along darn well.
It looks great, and I'm so proud we have a gator right on the building, Chris.
Me too.
And, we're the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators, and we want to let all of Marion County know that. We're really excited. We're looking forward to having a ribbon cutting event next month and moving the ball forward.
Well, our primary practice areas are personal injury law, meaning that we represent victims of catastrophic truck crashes, motor vehicle crashes, what we call slip and fall premises liability cases, and also criminal defense cases. And while, Jeffrey, you've been based in Gainesville for a long time, the fact of the matter is, now as much as ever, we're handling cases statewide.
Yes, we have an office in Fort Lauderdale as well, and we're looking forward to helping folks anywhere in the state of Florida, because with personal injury, a lot of what we do is through Zoom, over the phone, electronically, through emails, text, regular phone calls. So we're glad to help folks out no matter where they are, if they've been seriously injured in a crash or other serious accident.
You can reach us anytime toll free at 1-800-373-8000. We have a local 352 area code, and really, like we were talking about on the radio show, it almost doesn't matter anymore with cell phones, but however you reach us, 352-800, whatever the prefix is, call us anytime 24/7, or take a look at our website at meldonlaw.com. We've got some great guests today, two guests, both of whom are going to talk about some wonderful, extraordinary charitable organizations. Dr. Cole Dooley to my left we'll be talking to in just a second. We'll also be talking to Dr. Thomas Hennessey in the second part of today's show. Jeffrey, though, I want to cover some ticket giveaways that we've got coming up. And by the way, today is we are live on Facebook Live, and this is our new time on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. If you have any questions for us, whether it be for this man, Jeffrey Meldon, for either of our guests, whatever the case may be, please text them on the Facebook Live page. Just put them in the comments section and we'll get to your questions. So this is your show as much as ours. By all means, let us hear some questions. We've got tickets this weekend, Vanderbilt game. That's a huge weekend, a huge series.
I am excited. They're the number 2 team in the country, but they may be moving up to the number 1 team. I haven't looked at the polls this week, but they have 2 pitchers that are going to be major league superstars on 1 team.
It's incredible, and we've talked about it the last several weeks, how much parity there is in the SEC, quite candidly. The SEC always been known for great football teams. Look at the baseball teams, how many of them are ranked in the top 25.
I think we have 7 out of the top 15 teams in the country. So, yeah, I would call that parity.
So, great series this weekend. We are only giving away tickets to the Friday and Sunday games. So, you know the drill. If you've been watching the show or listening to us on the radio show, you go to just go to our homepage, meldonlaw.com, the very first page at the very top, click the banner for baseball tickets, take a shot at it. We've been getting hundreds of people, sometimes over 1,000 applying for these tickets for each week, and for this week it's going to be quite a thing. For Friday night, we've got 4 tickets plus a $100 gift certificate. Is that to what restaurant?
Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory. You can't beat that with a stick. We've got Sunday, same thing. We've got 6 tickets for each game, a 4 and a 2. So you've actually got 4 opportunities to apply for tickets.
And for those of you that have not been to the new Gator Baseball Stadium, you're in for a treat. Just go to our meldonlaw.com homepage at the top. You'll see enter the contest, a red bar, and you will be amazed. The The new baseball stadium is so cool.
It is. It's gorgeous. I've been there, and there's not a bad seat in the house. It's a wonderful experience. I was informed just before we went on the air that tomorrow's softball game that was scheduled against Florida A&M apparently has been canceled, so there will be no softball game tomorrow night. However, there will be one more home series for women's softball against Texas A&M next weekend. That will be the end of the season. The softball team, I know you've been following them all spring. They're incredible.
I think they were ranked number 3 in the country, so they'll be in postseason play, and we're big fans of the Lady Gators.
Well, let's get right to our show. Okay, we've got a guy that I was reading, your bio beforehand, Doctor, and it's really moving. I'm just going to let you tell the story. You are a medical doctor. You're an assistant professor at the University of Florida College of Medicine, but more importantly, you're here for a very personal reason today.
I am, and I'm really grateful for the chance to get to be here. My daughter Phoebe was diagnosed with a terminal brain cancer when she was 3. It's called DIPG, and we were very fortunate to have about 29 months with her when really only 6 to 9 were expected. So during that process of treatment and things, found out about the kind of the discrepancy in funding. It often goes mainly towards adult causes. Very little of it goes for pediatric cancer research, and then the small portion that goes for pediatric cancer research, and even smaller goes for these brain tumors. Some of these are really incredibly difficult to treat. The one like Phoebe's, actually Neil Armstrong's daughter, died from the same tumor in the 1960s. And they had really made very little advances in the treatment of this disease since that time. So we wanted to try to do something to help. A lot of the research that is or has been done was funded, or at least partially funded, by families who have started foundations in names of their children. And Phoebe was able to participate in one of those studies. Mm-hmm. So I thought it would be great to be able to do the same thing. An interesting piece of information that I don't think a lot of people know is that Phoebe was diagnosed towards the end of March of 2016. I think in February, UF brought almost an entire team from another university en bloc that actually focuses on this specific tumor type and has done significant research in this. So we had an expert here in the Gator Nation that we wouldn't have had otherwise if we had been somewhere else.
Are they still working with
Yes.
UF
Yes.
Health? And is that unit a fully funded unit currently?
They actually have become a pediatric brain tumor consortium site. So that is a huge resource for families in Florida or the surrounding area. Previously, you would have had to go to like St. Jude in Memphis, Texas Children's Hospital, Boston, Philadelphia, some of the large name children's hospitals, and we're actually one of those sites now.
So in the Southeast, and particularly in Florida, UF Health is the place to go for somebody with
Dr.
DIPG.
Sri Gururangan is one of the pediatric neuro-oncologists, as well as Elias Sayer. And then they have a team of basic science researchers that work with them. It's really, they came with nurse practitioners, with social workers, with basic science. It's really an incredible group of people.
What are some of the treatment modalities now that are encouraging?
So there are a number of things that people are working with. Some of the kind of the mainstay for treatment has been radiation, and that's been since like the early 60s. And the majority, like 75% of children, will get a period of time where they call it a honeymoon phase, where symptoms kind of subside. They can return back to a little bit more of a normal life. But as I said, the average life expectancy at the time Phoebe was diagnosed was about 6 to 9 months. Oh, goodness. So it's not a long time. We were very fortunate that she got almost 29 months. So she did participate in some other clinical trials. A lot of that involves adult chemotherapy drugs that they will do different kinds of studies, like dose escalation studies, to see how the doses and medications are tolerated by children. And then as far as novel drugs or novel treatments, there is they're looking at a way to use viruses to potentially kind of attack these tumors specifically. UF Health has their own trials that I can't really speak to now as well because I'm not as much in it, but I know that they have specific trials that people are coming here for. Involving immunotherapy is more their route.
And in response to your daughter's passing, I know you started an organization.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I started a charitable foundation in June of 2017. And the goal, like I said, was to try to help with research as well as try to support the researchers that are here locally. And a lot of the times the researchers that are here locally, one of the things that they come across is that families need a lot of resources when they come here. We have fantastic resources in like the Ronald McDonald House and other ways that families can be supported. The good news is that UF Health has become so much more known for the services that we offer for children with neonatal intensive care, with the great work that's done by the congenital cardiac team, by our surgeons, by the endocrinology, all of these people that are here at UF now. We don't have the resources to be able to take care of everyone.
Oh, because
right.
there's such a demand for the UF services
Right.
that all the people are coming here and we need to help take care of them.
So, we can't keep these researchers that are doing fantastic work here unless we're able to support their patients as well. So our main goal is to try to make something that is very easily attainable, that social workers identify a specific need, they send me an email, and then a lot of days I get a checkout the same day, or a lot of times I get a checkout the same day that can go to help support a family that may be in need for their mortgage, their electric bills. Wow. We've fixed cars for people. We have done work where we've gotten kids music lessons because they thought that would help them kind of through the process. And the unfortunate fact is that the care that these kids often need from any kind of oncology service kid, a lot of times at least one parent needs to stop working to be able to get them to appointments and take care of them.
So have you developed a community of families through this effort?
We have, not so much of families per se, because we try to keep all of this very much anonymous. No one else knows who's getting money besides me and the social workers. The remarkable thing has been the number of people that have joined on this cause from the community to volunteer, to become our board of directors, things like that.
We're going to have to take a break, so I want to hear a lot more about this in the next segment. It's fascinating. We're hearing from Dr. Cole Dooley, who is telling us about the Phoebe Louise Dooley Foundation. We'll be hearing a lot more about that on the next segment. You are watching Meldon Law and Friends, a service of Meldon Law. Today is Tuesday, the 27th of April. I think it is our 27th episode. So how about that? We'll be right back.
The Gator Nation will be the first to tell you that in all kinds of weather, we all stick together, which is why Meldon Law is honored to be the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. We hope you never find yourself the victim of a serious accident, but if you do, our team is here for you. Gators won't back down from a fight, and neither do we. When you're a member of the Gator Nation, you know what it means to never back down. Meldon Law has been a proud supporter of the Gator Nation since 1971. Two forces that won't back down. As the old saying goes, if you can't beat 'em, join 'em.
Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. Today is Tuesday, April 27th, 2021. My name is Chris Qualman, and I'm here with Jeffrey Meldon, president and founder of Meldon Law. And we're very, very pleased and honored to have with us today Dr. Cole Dooley, who's been telling us about the Phoebe Louise Dooley Foundation, named after his daughter. And we'll be talking a lot more about that in the next 14 minutes. Just a couple of things I want to remind everyone that we are live today We are live on Facebook. We're live every Tuesday, in fact. So if you have any questions for us, by all means, type them in the comments section at the Meldon Law Facebook page. Whether it's a question for Jeffrey about our practice areas, whether it's a question for Cole about the wonderful work he and his wife and foundation are doing, by all means, we want to hear from you. So don't be shy. Text us your question. We'll do our best to answer it. Okay. Anyhow, we've been talking with Cole, if I can call you that. And
Perfectly fine.
The work you're doing is extraordinarily moving. So tell us about the foundation itself, how it was created, and what you're looking for in terms of support from the community.
So the foundation is called the Phoebe Louise Dooley Foundation, after my daughter, like you mentioned. Our main goal is to try to I guess we have two, to support families who come here to UF Health for specifically brain cancer issues in children. But our help does extend out to hospital-wide if there's not someone that's identified as a need that specific.
How rare is this? I meant to ask you that first segment.
I think the latest numbers that I had heard were only about 300 children are diagnosed with this a year in the United States. So it's exceedingly rare. But we have experts here that are researching this tumor as well as other tumors that have been pretty difficult to treat that are here in Gainesville.
In fact, this is Brain Cancer Month. I heard you say before we went on the air.
May.
May is coming up.
Brain Cancer Awareness Month, and one of the things that we're doing is really trying to channel Phoebe. Most of the stuff that we try to do is something that I identified as something that was really special, unique, something like that. And if I can steal this for a second.
You steal away.
We have started doing, we're launching Phoebe's DIPG Kitty Cornfly Challenge. The kitty cornfly is this combination of a cat, butterfly, and unicorn. Phoebe actually had a t-shirt that was given to her that had that on it. We made up the name together, the kitty cornfly, to kind of meld them all together. One of the remarkable things about her was her imagination. So that's something that we're trying to incorporate throughout this. We're also trying to make DIPG, which has typically been associated with, something that's really pretty terrible, and we're trying to make it into something that's more positive. So this is an online, or like a social media-based task challenge, where we've taken, we've broken down the initials DIPG into something more positive. So the D stands for donate. So if people would like to participate in this, they can go to our Facebook page, Phoebe Louise Dooley Foundation. They can find this pamphlet. On the pamphlet, it has this breakdown of the different things: D for donate, I for inspire, P for play, and G for good deeds. There's a list of activities that are suggested that people would do. We ask, as people are doing these activities, that they would take a picture, video, and show this on social media using the tags that are listed here, so that this creates a lot of movement, a lot of talk about Brain Cancer Awareness Month. We're hoping to get some information about the importance of research and what this plays.
And you've got a big event coming up, I understand, in May.
So that's this online challenge.
Okay.
So with this challenge, we're just hoping that people go to our page, that they'll download the information and use that to have some fun with their friends, family, whatever they can do. Unfortunately, we're past the point where they can order T-shirts and things like that, but we did have that available.
Okay.
But the important thing is that people get out, they talk about the importance of brain cancer research, that they maybe learn about the activities and the researchers that we have here in Gainesville, the things that are unique that we offer, and how so many people are coming to our community for help in this area.
You know what I really like about your donate, inspire, play, good deeds suggestions? This applies to everybody. So a
really
few of the
does.
things, are, donate a needed item for a local animal shelter or rescue.
So that one's really important. My daughter was the biggest animal lover. I lived in town of Tioga previously. There were a number of circumstances where a turtle had escaped from the pond there, and she would yell, rescue it, and wanted us to take it back over to the pond. She loved going to the retirement park for horses and feeding carrots. She was a huge animal lover. One of our neighbors actually had a dog parade when she was first diagnosed and asked all of the neighbors to come out with their dogs, and she walked down the line and met all these different dogs. So animals are something that are very special. Inspire is all about creating awareness around Brain Cancer Awareness Month. There's coloring activities that can be included for kids, as well as something like a suggestion of making gray ribbons and passing them out to friends, coworkers. Maybe Meldon Law will even have a Go Gray Day someday in May and post about it on social media.
So if we wear gray clothes for a day.
Exactly.
Then
or
that
maybe you
would
pick
be-
every Friday as Gray Day.
Or every Friday. I got it. Okay.
We've got the gray T-shirts.
With the
there's-
Gator logo. Is that cool if we have the Gator logo?
That's perfect.
Maybe we'll add, we can add the foundation logo to some of the shirts as well.
As I said, one of the things that I think was most remarkable about my daughter was her imagination. So the play stuff is something that's really,
Sure.
I made the suggestion to some people, she loved princess dresses. So, go to the Goodwill, find some kind of prom dress and go do your shopping in your prom dress, and make sure you're posting about it from, tag it on social media. Talk about it. You're going to get a lot of attention asking why are you shopping at Target in your prom dress, and you're going to have the opportunity to talk to people about the importance of brain cancer.
I think
research.
those are great ideas. I'd encourage everybody to go to the website, Phoebe Louise Dooley, Dooley, like the sports commentator Pat Dooley. Same
Exactly.
spell,
We're not
right?
related, but
I was tempted to ask. We had him on the show a few weeks ago.
But so going through this list, though, I get really inspired because this doesn't
Sure.
relate specifically to brain cancer. It's just things that we should do in life. View the sunset with the family, dance outside for 5 minutes, do yoga exercises outside, spend time on a playground, create a playground obstacle course, arrange a wacky dress up at work or school.
I think we should do that at Meldon Law.
I think so. So if everybody goes to the Facebook page, you will get
Right.
some great ideas.
Oh, they really are.
And as far as donating, this is kind of pay it forward.
we have a little certificate that's going to come with it that if you pull up in line to get your favorite coffee, you can pass to the person that's waiting on you. Pay for the coffee for the person behind you, and they'll give it to them when they give them their coffee. At least that's our goal. And then that person will know that a kind of a random act of kindness was done in honor of somebody with brain cancer, or by someone who is just trying to promote the cause of Brain Cancer Awareness Month.
Well, I'm really impressed, and I think the list of actual action items that you've suggested makes it even more real to folks that are trying to help you out.
The important part is that people have fun. I think that they do this with a sense of purpose. I think that you can imagine that when you're told that you have about 6 to 9 months with your child, you start to live very purposely, and you start to appreciate little sunsets, time together, playing on a playground, all of those things, and that's what we're trying to capture here. So,
Well, I really, I think this applies to all of us.
It
doesn't
does.
So-
and we, these are only suggestions. So if you go to our Facebook page, you think of something else that you would like to do, we hope that you'll be creative. Come up with something that best fits you, and just do something that's purposeful towards promoting brain cancer awareness.
And it's-
Record and share yourself reading a children's book. I like that one.
I do that all the time with my grandchildren. I'm very blessed that I've got 3 grandchildren and that I get to do a lot of this stuff. I'm going to take this, Cole, and I'm going to take it down when I see my grandchildren next week and go through this. And maybe we can knock off a half a dozen of these really cool ideas.
We're asking, that would be wonderful. We're asking people to try to do at least 2 from each category. But of
I'll
course,
take that challenge.
if you want to do one every day, we're not going to say no. So.
Hey, I like it.
Now, this has been terrific. We've only got a couple of minutes left in this segment. We want to remind everybody, though, again, we are live on Facebook Live. So if you want, or send us a message by just typing it in the comments section at the Meldon Law Facebook page, or if you want to watch it later, you can do that. Just like all of our 26 previous episodes, they are archived on the Meldon Law Facebook page and on the Meldon Law YouTube page. So we urge you to take a look at some of our past episodes. We've had people, such as, Dr. Dooley here and others who have done wonderful things philanthropically. We've had coaches, we've had people from all walks of life in the state of Florida. So by all means, take a look at some of our old episodes. We also have a great guest coming up next. Dr. Tom Hennessey will be joining us to talk about work he is doing with veterans and some things that Jeffrey and the Meldon Law Firm are doing with recognizing veterans in the state of Florida and elsewhere. Jeffrey, I know that, again, we've been very supportive of athletics. We've talked so much about the fact we are the official law firm partner of the Florida Gators, and we're much more than that. We're also a community partner of Alachua County and the city of Gainesville.
We try to be involved with the community that has supported our work at Meldon Law and
Sure.
give back to the community. I think that's one of the greatest honors that we have, is being able to support other groups, donate, and more importantly, make people aware. I'm very glad that Cole Dooley could join us today, because I was not personally aware of the DIPG organization, and I want to thank you for joining us, Cole.
Yes, very much.
Again, I'm going to keep telling folks, go to Phoebe Louise Dooley Facebook page. That's where the best information is.
Yep.
And for those of you, you got to read this list. This
really
is
is
really
great.
cool. Donate, inspire, play, good deeds, and you're going to read all kinds of things that we can do every day to honor the memory of Phoebe Louise, as well as help a lot of other families that are struggling with life-changing circumstances. And since the University of Florida in Gainesville is the home to one of the leading children's brain cancer programs, we need to give back and help those folks make sure that they can spend great time with their children, and God willing, we'll find some cures in the future.
Cole, again, we really appreciate you being a part of the show today, and we certainly will get the word out on our end, and would like to urge all our viewers, listeners, many of you are listening on one of 39 different audio platforms. By all means, take a look at the Facebook page for the foundation, and I wish you the very, very best of luck.
Thank you guys so much again for listening and taking the time to help
Thank
promote
you.
this.
You've been watching Meldon Law and Friends, and don't go away. We've got another 30 minutes of program. We've got an excellent guest coming up, Dr. Thomas Hennessey, and by all means, take a look at our website at meldonlaw.com. Learn more about our practice areas. Apply for tickets. We've got free tickets we're giving away for baseball next week against Vanderbilt. Stick around. We'll be right back.
When you're a member of the Gator Nation, you know what it means to never back down. Meldon Law has been a proud supporter of the Gator Nation since 1971. Two forces that won't back down. As the old saying goes, if you can't beat 'em, join 'em.
Well, I was in a truck accident. Because of the accident, I've resulted in 3 back surgeries. We saw advertisements on TV, and guess who popped up more often than not? It was Jeffrey. The communication that he provided was so appreciative. He shows his compassion as a human. He assisted us in achieving one of our dreams, the acquisition of a home, and we're here today with smiles on our face with the assistance from Jeffrey.
And I was in an accident. Someone ran a red light and hit me, and I was hurt. You don't know where to turn. Luckily, I called Jeffrey. These big insurance companies, they don't want you to win. They truly don't. But Jeffrey and his firm and the people that work here, they just really fight for you. You call the law offices of Jeffrey Meldon, because you're going to need help, and they will help you.
The Meldon Law Firm from the beginning has been built on giving back to the community. I enjoy coming to work as much today as I did in 1971 when I opened my practice. I don't look at this as a job, I look at it as serving other people. While we're alive, what better feeling can you achieve than knowing that you've helped other people and thereby you enrich your own life?
Being a client at Meldon Law was special because I felt like I was really being listened to and I felt welcome by the entire staff. If I were in a situation where I needed legal advice and help, I would absolutely reach out to Jeffrey because his reputation alone speaks for itself. But on a personal level, I know that he would take care of me and help me solve those problems, and I would feel safe with him.
The Gator Nation will be the first to tell you that in all kinds of weather, we all stick together, which is why Meldon Law is honored to be the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. We hope you never find yourself the victim of a serious accident, but if you do, our team is here for you. Gators won't back down from a fight, and neither do we.
Welcome back to today's episode of Meldon Law and Friends. Today is Tuesday, the 27th day of April, 2021, and this is our 27th episode. My name is Chris Qualman. I'm here with Jeffrey Meldon, the president and founder of Meldon Law. Before I say anything else, I was reminded during the break, I made a little mistake last segment. The Vanderbilt games are this weekend. Not a week from now. They are this weekend. Coming up, it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Probably the biggest three-game series of the year when you consider how highly ranked Vanderbilt is. So we have tickets we're giving away for Friday and Sunday night. We don't have tickets for Saturday, but Saturday's kind of a special day. What's that all about?
Well, Saturday is Meldon Law Day at the ballpark. They call it the Florida Ballpark, and we're very excited to be supporting Florida athletics. The game is definitely a big-time game. People around the country will be watching. It'll probably be the biggest game in college sports this weekend. So join us. It may be on the SEC network. For sure,
it'll be something.
It will be on SEC Plus for sure. And we want to encourage people to enter the contest. We've got 4 tickets plus a $100 gift certificate to the Cheesecake Factory for Friday and Sunday's game. The game is at 3 p.m. on Sunday, not
That's
at
right.
night.
That's right.
And the game on Friday, I believe, is 6:30, 7
p.m.
7 p.m.
7
I knew
p.m.
I had one of the three.
And we actually have 6 tickets for each day. We have a 4 and a 2. We've got a group of 4 tickets and a group of 2 tickets for each day, for Friday and Sunday. These games, if they're not sold out already, will be sold out. So the only place you're going to get tickets, right here.
Meldonlaw.com. Go to the homepage at the top. You'll see enter the contest. And this past week, Chris, we've been handing out these really nifty tumblers to a lot of the people that enter, even if they don't win.
That's right.
So as long as we have more tumblers left.
They're great tumblers.
Go to meldonlaw.com, go to the homepage at the top, enter the contest, and there's Meldon Law on one side and the big old Florida Gator on the other side. These are fabulous. We've been getting rave reviews.
I use them every day. They keep cold drinks cold and hot drinks hot. That pretty much satisfies my needs. This is a special episode. We're talking about a couple of wonderful charitable activities. We heard from a terrific, inspirational guest last 2 segments from Dr. Cole, and we've got another, I think, certainly equally inspirational guest with us as part of what we're doing, Jeffrey, the whole Veterans Making a Difference program. Why don't we talk a little bit about that and before we introduce Dr. Hennessey?
About 2 years ago, the University of Florida, Meldon Law teamed up with CBS 4 in Gainesville in order to create the Veterans Making a Difference program. For the last couple of years, we've had our 2 buses traveling around Gainesville that have veterans making a difference on it, trying to create awareness to all the wonderful veterans organizations within our community. And every 3 months we've been donating a $500 gift certificate to a veteran or veterans organizations that have continued to make an impact on our community even after their service to our country is over. So we're very, very glad that we have Tom Hennessey here, because Tom is a special member of the veterans community in Gainesville. And welcome to the show, Tom.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Could you tell our listeners and viewers a little bit about the organization and what your role is?
Certainly. The Military Order of the Purple Heart was formed in 1932, and the Purple Heart medal itself is given to those who have been killed or wounded in combat. That's the only criteria for receipt of the Purple Heart. And the Purple Heart also happens to be the oldest medal in the United States. It was actually initiated by a fellow by the name of George Washington in 1782. Wow. And was then picked up again in 1932 by a fellow by the name of MacArthur. And MacArthur was the one who actually put in place the means by which it would be awarded. And he actually made the first 100 awards to veterans of World War I in New York. And that's where the Hall of Honor is for the Military Order of the Purple Heart. It's a national organization, and it is a 501c19 war veterans organization, very similar to a 501c3 in that it has IRS tax exemption. And we are a part of the Department of Florida, which is part of the larger Military Order of the Purple Heart nationally. And our sole purpose is to support veterans and veterans' families, to raise awareness of the needs of veterans, to promote patriotism, and to instill in the general population the need to support veterans. And that's where we are, and that's why we have an annual fundraiser, which is our charity golf tournament. And the purpose of the charity golf tournament is to provide the support for veterans in our community, Gainesville and Alachua County and the surrounding counties.
And when is this golf tournament?
June the 5th at Ironwood Golf Course. And it promises to be a different type of tournament. The golf tournaments that you've been in the past, you play and you win and you get a little trophy and you maybe have breakfast and dinner. Well, we actually have $1 million hole-in-one.
Wow.
We have a $10,000 hole-in-one, and we have 3 $1,000 hole-in-ones. And we have a kind of a different event as well. We have a case of wine and whiskey in the middle of the par 5, and the one closest to it wins it.
Is it on the green?
No, it's actually in the fairway.
Oh, it's in the fairway.
It's in the fairway, yeah.
I got it.
Hit the whiskey.
Now, how far out on it is
about 250 yards.
Okay.
That'd be a pretty good drive.
For me, that's 2 shots.
Well, we might give you 2 shots.
Do you have to hit it on the first shot?
No. You just have to be closest after your first or second shot.
Oh,
we let the women and the older guys,
might have a shot.
us older guys, do it twice, and the younger guys have to do it once.
Oh, the younger guys have to hit it on their drive.
Right.
Whereas some of
us seniors.
Seniors get 2 shots.
Yes, sir.
So if I have a pretty good drive, I might pull out a 9-iron just to try to get the whiskey.
Or a pitching wedge, one of the other.
Pitching wedge, yeah.
You've already got him thinking about his strategy. Tell us about this $1 million hole-in-one.
It's actually named after Bob Gachet. It's called the Bob Gachet $1 Million Shootout. And for those of you who are not aware of who Bob Gachet was, he was one of the most renowned veterans in Gainesville, and he was a member of our order and a member of our chapter. Bob was wounded the first time at Iwo Jima, the second time at Incheon. He was a Marine, and he died in August of 2019. But Bob was a very strong supporter of veterans throughout the area and was a member of most of the organizations that support veterans in one way or another.
What are some of the things that folks can do to, number one, get involved in the golf tournament, but during the year to support the efforts of what your group is doing?
Well, there are a number of veteran support organizations within Gainesville and within Alachua County. One, and full disclosure, I happen to be the treasurer of the Gainesville Fisher House Foundation. The Gainesville Fisher House, for those of you who are not familiar with it, think of a Ronald McDonald House for veterans' families. If a veteran is in the hospital here at the VA and needs to have treatment that's overnight, the family can stay in the Fisher House, which is on the campus, literally right across the street from the main entrance, for nothing, and we've outfitted it. The Fisher Foundation, the National Foundation, has actually provided 50% of the support for 81 Fisher houses across the world. And so it's quite remarkable what they do.
Now, I know we have a very prominent veterans hospital here.
Oh, yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that and how the veterans
Certainly.
community interacts?
The VA hospital here, the North Florida, South Georgia hospital, is the most active veterans hospital in the United States.
Really?
And people say, well, how is that? And I remind them, nobody retires and goes up north.
True.
And the further south you go in Florida, the more expensive it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not unusual then for veterans to be living and retiring in South Georgia, North Florida. And as a consequence, our hospital is one of the most active, if not the most active, in the country. And the house, the Fisher House, is right across the street from the main entrance. And so when they check into the hospital, if they're going to be there overnight, the family knows that they walk across the street and they have a suite available to them.
That's really amazing. I saw a crane out there on the Veterans Hospital the other night. I guess
They're building more.
They're building more, and
They have to.
For
Yep.
folks that don't know, University of Florida, Shands Hospital, and the Veterans Hospital are very closely aligned, and all of the incredible work that we do at UF Health. The Veterans Hospital here gets a benefit of a lot of it because the doctors go back and forth.
Absolutely. I was telling Cole, your previous guest, that I've had 3 residents that provide my care at the VA hospital, and all of them have been residents from UF's program. They all happen to be women too, but I love
So
women
they're
doctors.
doing a good job.
They're doing a
They're
great
keeping
job.
you,
Doing a wonderful job, I'm
That's
sure.
what I tell my doctors. I said, look, tell me what I need to do to live to 100, okay, and I'm going to do the best I can.
Right.
He will. What are some of the needs, generally speaking, about veterans here in North Central Florida or statewide, whatever the case may be?
And I can speak to probably just a few of the issues that face veterans that are leaving active duty, particularly those that have sustained wounds or significant injuries in their service. And that is a transition from a very structured environment to a very unstructured environment, which is, for them, civilian life. That's very unstructured. And so the transition that many of them make is facilitated by a number of veterans organizations, whether it be the VA itself or whether it be veteran service organizations within the community. And our challenge is for them to know that we're there. And if you know a veteran that needs support, let them get in touch with us. We can, if we can't help personally, or our organization can't help, we know an organization that can.
You know, it's very interesting because I never thought about it, but a lot of our younger veterans maybe went from living at home, graduating high school, and going into the service, and then coming home, and for the first time in their lives, they've had very little structure, and they're dealing with some of the consequences of being in the war zones.
Sure.
And it must be
Absolutely.
a very challenging transition.
It is, and the military, and I can only speak for the Army, but the military has attempted to have transitions for soldiers going into the civilian community or leaving the military. But it's a psychological shift that individuals have a difficult time coming up with.
So what are some of the organizations that help our military veterans coming back into the community?
Well, the Military Order of the Purple Heart is a certified veteran service organization. The disabled American veterans, wounded warriors, the Vietnam Veterans of America, American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign Wars.
Wow.
All of those organizations have the capacity to either provide support or refer an individual to other organizations that can provide the support.
I want you to hold that thought. We're going to talk more about it in our fourth and final segment. Again, you are watching Meldon Law and Friends. Today is Tuesday, the 27th day of April, 2021. You are hearing from and watching Dr. Tom Hennessey speaking about the wonderful work his veterans his organization does, and also the great work of many others. Please, if you have any questions for us, what a great topic. I'm sure almost everybody out there either knows someone, maybe someone in your family who is a veteran, or maybe in active service. Whatever the case may be, this is a tremendous opportunity to ask a question of a guy who is absolutely an expert in this area. So by all means, text us your questions, type them on the comments page of our Facebook Live feed on Meldon Law Facebook page. We will be right back, and thank you for watching.
When you're a member of the Gator Nation, you know what it means to never back down. Meldon Law has been a proud supporter of the Gator Nation since 1971. Two forces that won't back down. As the old saying goes, if you can't beat 'em, join 'em. The Gator Nation will be the first to tell you that in all kinds of weather, we all stick together, which is why Meldon Law is honored to be the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. We hope you never find yourself the victim of a serious accident, but if you do, our team is here for you. Gators won't back down from a fight, and neither do we.
Hello and welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends for our fourth and final segment this Tuesday, the 27th day of April, 2021. For those of you not familiar with Meldon Law, and I would think by 27 episodes you should be, we are a statewide law firm that specializes in personal injury law, meaning that we represent victims who are injured due to the negligence of others, whether it may be a motor vehicle crash, a catastrophic big truck crash, a slip and fall, a trip and fall, animal bite. We've represented people injured on scooters, all kinds of things. Whatever it may be, whatever your question may be, whatever matter of law it might be, give us a call anyway, and we'll steer you in the right direction at 1-800-373-8000. We are talking today with Dr. Tom Hennessey to my left, and I was looking at your bio, and it's really quite amazing. You're a University Chief of Staff Emeritus at George Mason University. You're a retired colonel from the U.S. Army, yes, distinguished member of the 505th Parachute Infantry Regiment.
The only regiment in the United States Army that made all 4 combat jumps in the European theater.
Wow. Now, how many times have you jumped out of an airplane?
68.
Oh, wow.
68 more than
how
me.
How many of those, any of those in a combat situation?
No. Fortunately, no.
Well, good. Where did you serve?
I started out as an infantry lieutenant at Fort Benning, Georgia, and in 1966 went to my first tour in Vietnam. Returned in 1967, 1968, and 1969. And then after that, I served on the ROTC staff at Eastern Kentucky University. And then from there, went to Germany, served in the 3rd Infantry Division. From there, back to Command and General Staff College, and then to the 7th Infantry Division in Fort Ord, California. And then from there to the Pentagon for the 2nd tour. And then from there down to the Special Operations Command Central, where I was the first Joint Intelligence Officer for the Special Operations Command.
Wow. I
And-
always like that name, an intelligence officer. It makes you see, I know you're a very smart guy, but when you have that at the end of your name, PhD intelligence officer, that really elevates your status, right?
Some used to say that military intelligence is an oxymoron.
How was it working at the Pentagon?
I was very fortunate. I worked for some really outstanding people. My last tour, I was actually the chief of the European division for General Powell, Colin Powell.
Wow. What was it like? Where he seems like quite an amazing man.
An amazing leader. And I will give you one example. His predecessor had the typical desk. And if you went in to brief him, you sat on the other side of the desk. General Powell changed that. His desk was round.
Wow.
And he sat here, and you sat next to him. And if you had something to tell him, you briefed him there. And, you know, the typical thing was the 2 stars and the 1 star and the colonels. Well, the folks who get the job done in the Pentagon are majors and lieutenant colonels. They're the action officers. And he used to bring them in, and they would sit next to him, and the 2 star and the 1 star and the colonel would sit down at the other end. And the inspiration that he gave to these young officers was incredible. These guys would leave his office about that high off the floor. And,
wow.
You know, he was inspirational. He really was.
I've heard him speak. He is incredible.
He is.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Well, that's pretty amazing. So, what's the either Facebook page or website that people can go to learn more about your organization?
About the it's the Department of Florida, and the larger national is just put in Purple Heart and it'll pop up. Our chapter, for example, is MOPH chapter 0823.org.
Right.
And that's it. And but more importantly and more succinctly to the point, the way in which you register for this golf tournament is mophgolf.com.
I see that.
mophgolf.com. It's
Yeah.
very simple. And
But but if people just Google Purple Heart,
Yes, sir.
Gainesville,
they'll
it will send
come
them to, and they can also find information about the golf tournament
Yes, sir.
On your website there as well. How many folks are involved in this golf tournament? It sounds like a big deal.
Well, it is a big deal, and we don't do anything by ourselves. We're actually partnering with the Legion Riders. Okay. American Legion Riders are the folks who ride motorcycles, and they are either members of the American Legion by right of being a veteran, or they are sons of or daughters of veterans, and they are then associate members of the Legion, and they become Legion Riders. And they've been very supportive of helping us not only procure our sponsors, but also they're going to be the veterans out there that are monitoring the pins and being there for us when we need them.
Well, that sounds like a really amazing event. June 5th.
Yes, sir.
2021. And I think, what is that, Saturday?
Saturday. Yep.
Okay. And what time?
We'll start registration at about 7:30 in the morning, and we'll kick off with a putting contest, which if you win the putting contest, you get $500 in fireworks.
Now I just saw that. Okay, my kids may be watching, saying, "Uh-oh, Dad's a fireworks freak," and I can putt. I can't drive a ball worth a darn. And my short game's nothing to speak of, but putting,
you got it.
Sometimes I can do that pretty well, so maybe I'll check that out.
Fireworks, just in time for July 4th.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, so it's at Ironwood Golf Course, and for those of you that haven't been to Ironwood in a while, it's really improved. It's a great course. Yeah. It's a lot of fun for golfers like myself. We like the wide open nature of the course.
Sure.
Exactly.
And you can, get around the course, have a good time, and not lose more than 5 or 6 balls.
That's true. And our friend Jeff Cardozo, of course, the voice of the Gator baseball team, who we had on the show actually about a month or two ago. That's, of course, where he has quite an impact.
Well, Jeff and the city of Gainesville have been very supportive of charity golf events at Ironwood, and that makes a big difference.
I'm going to throw out a quick shout out. Actually, this week, Friday, Meldon Law is participating in the Mary Wise Scramble. We had Coach Mary Wise on a couple of months ago, and she does an annual golf tournament also to support the Pace Center for Girls. And my understanding is Carrie Meldon and Richard Perlini. Are you playing?
I'm playing.
You're playing. Oh, my goodness. Watch Jeffrey Meldon play golf this Friday.
Well, you know, I played golf in high school on the golf team.
I know
so
you did.
I used to be able to play golf, and then I started practicing law, and I decided to devote more time to the law than to golf. But I understand that if you just focus in on golf, you can get very good quickly.
You can get good quickly. Well, Richard has been telling us what a great golfer he is, so I'm looking forward to. Now, I'm not playing, but I may come out to watch you guys shoot just to see proof for myself. Anyway, terrific segment today. Is there anything else you would like to tell us, Tom? You know, about there's so much you do, so much you have done, and the work being done for supportive veterans. I just cannot think of anything more important than that. Anything you'd like to just say to our viewers and listeners about other ways they can get involved, even in a small way, to help the veterans in our community?
There's always a way in which anyone can support veterans, and I think that is to recognize that veterans support organizations need financial support on a continuing basis. And if you have the opportunity, either individually or through your company, to provide support to veterans, choose them. Choose veteran support as your option, if you will. The other is, as I said before, there are veterans who need support. Too often they don't identify themselves well enough so that we can provide the support that they need. For example, our senior vice commander has a neighbor down the road who is a veteran who hasn't had running water literally for a year because his well was stopped up and he didn't have the money to do it. We provided the funds to get somebody to come in and fix the well and get his water running again. I mean, that's the sort of thing, if you don't know about it, you can't do anything about it.
And also getting our veterans into good job situations when they come back. That must be a very important aspect.
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, we're one of the supporters of the many veterans scholarships at the local college, not UF, but Santa Fe. Santa Fe has a remarkable program of scholarships for veterans transitioning into the community, the academic community, and then transitioning out into jobs that they can actually do and do well.
Well, I'm really amazed to hear about the Purple Heart group, and I know that Meldon Law Veterans Making a Difference, one of our first honorees was a veteran who was 97 years old.
I've seen that.
Yeah. And that was really cool. So we go to his house. This is before COVID, you know. So I go out to his house, and he and his wife, who've been married 65 years together, right? They're sitting there. And as soon as I walked in, he pulled out his Purple Heart to show he had two. And he was so proud of his Purple Heart. I think of all of the amazing things he had done in his life and achievements and stuff, he was most proud of those two Purple Hearts. And I could really, see it. And we were so glad to honor his service and everything that he had done since his service.
We're going to have to wrap things up.
Yes,
we
sir.
could have probably spent an entire afternoon talking with you, Dr. Tom, but God bless you for the service you've given to our country and the service you're doing now, which is so incredibly important. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We look forward to interacting with you and doing more things with you down the road. By all means, take a look at Dr. Hennessey's website, the Facebook page. He was talking about them earlier. We'll have some information on our website about it.
Yes.
And the golf tournament.
Morph.
MOPH.
MOPH. Morph.
Golf.com. All right.
MOPHgolf.com.
And we'll be out there.
Yeah, and show up.
So we got to wrap up. Again, thank you for watching today, the 27th episode of Meldon Law and Friends. Tell your friends about it and share the episode. It'll be archived on the Facebook page, on YouTube page, but we want you to watch live too and send us questions. Again, on behalf of Meldon Law, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.